What the research suggests is that forms of differentiation, such as establishing ability groupings, may not be effective for all children, as stated in the following research. Flexible, fluid and temporary groupings are therefore an integral part of a differentiated classroom so that we can encourage that purposeful and meaningful learning. And that's why we should be continually reflecting on the purpose of our grouping and if we actually have the right balance. So for example, some of the things we should be considering are how large or small our groups are going to be, or what's the level of interaction needed. Teacher-led groups are the most common configuration used in classrooms today. They include whole class instruction, small group instruction, and independent work. Small group teacher-led instruction or intervention is when a group of learners are targeted because they have that common need. In cases like this, where a teacher identifies a number of learners sharing the same support, it can make sense to have these as temporary groupings. Here, learners are going to be brought together for that short period of time to be taught directly by the teacher. Those who actually don't require this intervention should engage in independent practice or an activity that extends their learning beyond the core. I think it's very important to be very clear here that temporary grouping isn't planning individual activities for individual learners. Rather, the majority of the class are engaging in a common activity that either consolidates their learning or enriches it, and the few who actually require additional teacher-led instruction get access to this before they fall too far behind. This temporary splitting of the class, in actual fact, helps keep the class together in the long run. However, as soon as possible, temporary grouping should be disbanded and the class reintegrate as a unit. So teacher-led groups are an effective and an efficient way to group when there is a need to introduce new material or targeted intervention, or when summing up the learning or conclusions made by individual groups. However, there are limitations to be aware of. On the other hand, student-led groups can take many forms, but they all share common features where students control the group dynamics and maintain a voice in setting the agenda for the group to follow. Student-led groups provide opportunities for that divergent thinking and encourage students to take responsibility for their own learning. The essence of collaborative grouping is team spirit, where success depends on collaboration. Team members will share ideas and reinterpret instructions to help each other. Performance-based groups provide a means for increasing students' access to a particular concept or skill. But again, these should be considered temporary. Here are some limitations to be aware of when considering student-led groups. Please now consider the following questions to encourage further reflection and professional dialogue between yourself and your colleagues.